I think you should be yourself exaggerated to another level almost. It's like don't try and be someone else, be yourself and then really let it out, which is perfect. And
That's
that's your
it.
personal branding, but what's equally as important is what are you known for? What do you do? Who do you do it for? And why do you do it?
Hey, hey, everybody. Welcome to the most wonderful real estate podcast ever. I'm so excited that you are here with me today. I've got a great guest, actually, someone I've known for a long time. So I get super excited when I get to interview somebody that I actually know ahead of time. Richard Roop is going to be our guest today. And I just want to welcome you to the world of Dwanderful. I'm Dwan Twyford. I'm America's most sought after real estate investor. And our motto at Dwanderful is people before profits. So if that is something that resonates with you, you're at the right place, it's the right time, and we are the right people for you. Opt in at Dwanderful, Dwanderful, Dwanderful.com. I've got 4 free ebooks for you. So, Richard, welcome to my show today.
I'm pretty excited to be with you. I mean, like you said, I've known you for a long, long time, my entire career in real
Ever,
estate,
like
you
forever, like
know,
20 years,
like
right?
30 years maybe. I
Mm.
don't know. Yeah,
I don't think 30
1990,
years. That would put me at,
1998.
I still look like I'm 30, so I must have known you since I was born.
Uh, so yeah, but it's 2023. I mean, come on, it's so
23 and feeling free. So, you know what
yeah,
I'm
so
telling
it's
people
really
this year?
exciting to. Hmm?
Yeah, no, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, it's nice to kind of catch up with you because we don't hang around a lot each other for the past couple of decades. So yeah, I'm excited to tell you what I'm up to, and I want to learn more about what you're up to because Dwan, that's what I do. I work with entrepreneurs, and I find out what their goals are and their vision is, and then because I'm really interested in that, and then I look for ways that I might be able to help or give suggestions or ideas. I'm a marketing guy,
Yeah, oh yeah.
so it's all about sales and marketing and profit and
Well,
growth.
before
And
we jump in, you are our wicked smart man for the day. You're the wicked smart man. And we always start off having a toast. So I am drinking water. What are you having there today?
I bought these for my wife. They're like beauty drinks.
Oh, well, cheers.
Beautify.
Cheers to you. Welcome to the show.
Cheers. Thank you.
And everyone that
Yeah, these are
listens,
super healthy.
they look they they look pretty in the can. So everybody knows we have a toast. Everybody takes a deep breath. You're like, shake off whatever you got going on. And you opened your mind to learning and listening and having fun because as you can tell by my fun background, Wonderful is all about having fun. So what we want you to do, Richard, is just tell us who you are, how to reach you, and like a 1 sentence summary of what you do. And then I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions and see how you got to become Richard Roop. So we want to know what's your deal.
Well, I'm kind of known as the marketing consultant for real estate entrepreneurs. I got started in personal growth and development, then I got started marketing information products, and then into real estate marketing. And now I just take all my skills and experience and I look for people, organizations and individuals to grow, just applying what I know and love. I love being a creative marketer. That's
Yes.
that's what I'm about.
And
And you
how
can
do
reach
people get
me,
in touch with you?
yeah, richardroop.com.
Oh,
You
that's
go to
easy.
richardroop.com. Yeah, just go up to the top of the page. It says free resources. Just click on that. That'll take you to the Roop Legacy Library. And I got a lot of free stuff and you'll learn, we'll be in touch.
Nice. That's it. RichardRoop.com. Can't get it easier than that. Now, like Richard said, we have known each other for, I don't even know, probably have 30 years. We used to see each other, a lot of the workshops and the seminars, but those just don't seem to be like they used to be, where, you'd have a big event, be like 1,200 people, and all the speakers are hanging out. And I miss those days of all those really great events like that.
Yeah, and we would probably speak at the same events and stuff,
Yeah.
and it, yeah, but I love that, so I still do it, but I do it with a different crowd. So I might go to a real estate investor group of people learning how to make money in real estate,
Right.
and I might support that event, I might speak at it, but I'm spending most of my time with people like yourself, people like myself, influencers, people that well, all kinds of entrepreneurs, but I'm hanging out with a lot of people that are really kicking it and really, taking it to the next level. And a lot of my old friends and buddies, that call me a legend when I show up, which is kind of cool.
You are, though. You are a legend. I know it feels
So,
weird when you've been in it for so long, and someone was like, "Oh my God, here's one." I'm like, "Yeah," and I hear them talk about the stuff I'm done. I'm like, "Who are they talking about? That can't possibly be me." But you're like a legend. Like anyone that I know of that wants to do any kind of marketing or grow their business, they're always asking for Richard Roop.
well, a lot of people think I'm not available. And actually, I'm looking for those strategic alliances. I'm looking for people to promote. I only promote stuff that people I love, products that I think are great to improve people's lives. Like you said, people
Yeah,
before profits, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so I'm all big on integrity, but I'm also big on leverage and efficiency. And, a lot of people, they don't create, everybody creates their own future, Dwan, but they don't sometimes take that conscious effort to actually create exactly what is their vision for 6 months, 12 months, 3 years, right? And then come up with an exciting outcome and then turn around and look how wonderful it was to get there and how wonderful it feels to be there, and then go ahead and put a plan together and figure out how you're going to do it. They do it backwards.
Yeah.
They get some skills and some ideas, and then they just get busy, and they're not totally focused.
I think that I honestly think that one of the things that holds entrepreneurs back is they get busy and they're doing what I call busy work that's not really building what they want to build. It's like for an example, I'll give you an example. People be like, "Oh, I want to buy some kind of real estate program so I can put it on my deals and put it on my leads and put it on my follow up and I can email people all over the country and look for leads." And they spend weeks just doing busy typing. It's like, okay, but like how many people do you have? None. But I've been so busy for the last month. It's like, no, that's like stuff that just eats up your time. That's not real time. You need to be doing like you would tell them step one, step two, da, because the busy work makes you
Well,
feel like you're doing something, but there's no result from that.
but if you're doing that work, you should have an outcome. So it's like, okay, within 30 days, I'm going to hit this outcome if I do this work, or I'm going to do that this week, or I'm going to do that today. Have a specific outcome. Otherwise, yeah, you'll always find things to fill up your time.
Yeah.
And sometimes we feel good. It changes our state. We're doing things, we're learning things, but accomplishing what's important to you, what's most important to you, is what you should be focused in on. And a lot of people, they don't have that clarity on what will really improve their lives, what they can do to make their life exactly how they want it. Because we're living our life.
Yeah.
You might as well enjoy it. And if you're doing a lot of busy work, that's great as long as it's in alignment with your other goals,
With
right?
what you want. So let me have you do this. Let's give us an example. Let's say and you work in all areas, not just real estate.
Yeah,
So
all
give me
industries.
like one idea of a person that you might work with.
You.
Okay. So you want to work with me, and let's just say I'm like, okay, Richard, I want to what would I want to do?
Uh, let's say you wanted to put on an event or you wanted to create
Event. Let's do
okay.
event.
All right.
Okay, let's do event. Because I think that a lot of people, whatever their industry is, they do want to put on events. They want to get people in there. They want people to know what they do, sample their products, whether it be skincare or beauty or a mortgage company or a real estate event, and then they want to make sales and they want to like build that. So someone like me that's like fresh meat. I'm like, hey Richard, I found you because I heard Dwanderful's podcast and I want to put on an event. Give me like a couple steps that you would say you have to do this and this and this and this in order for me to spend my time to work with you to make this happen. Like just
All
give us
right.
like
So
an
you have
example.
okay. So you have an event coming up in 6 months.
Yep.
You have this idea. And Dwan, what is your intention for that event? What do you want to accomplish with it?
So probably my intention would be to, for me personally, I would want to get people that I could coach them on how to become real estate investors.
Okay. And you have a program that you're going to offer at that event?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And is that your big payday? Whatever you sell at the event, or are you looking to make money selling tickets?
Selling the coaching because the coaching leads to partnerships and splitting deals with people.
All right. And that is your intent for the event. So I want to
Yes.
get clear on your goals behind the intention of the event. And if we get and we if we drill down on why that's so important to you, because that's what you enjoy, that's what you love to do, because that's your fulfilling type of people you want to
Yeah.
work with, then now we have a good reason to put a lot of people into that event,
Okay.
right?
I see. Yep.
All right. So then I would talk about the 3 steps of marketing, which is your market, who's your ideal avatar, right? Who's your ideal coaching client, right? Those are the people
Yep.
we should probably target because instead of targeting everybody, right?
Yep.
And then your message, what is the main benefits why people hire you to work with them or partner with them or coach them? What is your marketing message? You probably got that down pat,
Okay.
okay? So I would dive into that myself, so I'm familiar with it, right?
Right.
And then the question is, all right, so how do we get the word out? So do we want to who are we gonna our market and our media? But so our market would be, how do we find that ideal avatar? So you have your list, you have other people's list, you have social media, you have advertising, right? You have your podcast. So I'd look at all the different ways we can target that avatar that you have the ability to do already. So I want
Mm-hmm.
to leverage any resources that you already have. And most people don't maximize the value of their list, building
I
that
agree.
relationship with their list. Yes.
I
So
agree.
that's why I like working with someone like you, because you have all this potential that you would agree with, but it's just not being done. And I can say, well, here's some simple ways to tap into that and get it done.
Nice. See, I
Yeah,
like that because that's a good, just short sample and simple explanation. But you know, the thing is, a lot of people they don't realize how good their list is. Not even if they have a list, just like other real estate investors in town that I know. Some of them don't realize like how many people they know. They don't realize how many hard money lenders or people they know that would lend money for deals because people don't know how to. I think they don't know how to market themselves.
that's almost if you were going to ask me what do you want to call this episode, if I want to talk about anything, it's how to market yourself.
So I feel
Right.
like I'm pretty clear with the Dwanderful. I got my Delilah and Daisy May. I got my pink hair. I've got my colors. I've got my scheme. I've got my Dwan and Wonderful makes Dwanderful. So I feel like I put that together to be like kind of crazy, flamboyant, and fun, but also as you know, I know a lot about my topic and I've been doing it for decades and decades and decades. So my thing is like, let's make it fun. Let's make it interesting. Let's not be like the guys in the suit and ties that are just so serious all the time, because who honestly likes that? I mean, some
Oh,
people do, but for me, it's like, no, I
no,
have to
I
be this person.
I think you should be yourself exaggerated to another level almost. It's like, don't try and be someone else, be yourself, and then really let it out, which is perfect. And
That's it.
that's your personal branding. But what's equally as important is, what are you known for? what do you do? Who do you do it for? And why do you do it? Right.
Nice.
And that's your marketing message, and that should be ingrained in, like, who's Dwan, right?
Yep.
And so you get it so clear in people's minds, you can ingrain it in people's minds that they can tell other people, oh, here's who she is.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's the best marketing, is referral marketing.
It honestly, it really is. I get a lot of people that I end up coaching. It's called the apprentice program, and I'm in with these people for like 2 years. Like, we're working together, we're splitting deals, but I'm all in. And those people refer me so many more people because like, hey, I did deals with her. I made $600,000 last year. I was only making $75,000 a year before. It's like, oh my God, she's the best. So referral is good. So I like that. So you can work with anybody in any industry. They could come to you and say,
That's it.
I have a beauty product and I want to be famous for this thing, or I have the magic weight loss, or I'm a mortgage broker. You just take your concepts and you can work with anybody in any industry and help them dial in what it is they need and what their big goal is and how to achieve that.
As long as I agree that they're headed in the right direction. Because I meet people that I don't want to work with, because what I do is I find out where they've been, how's
Yeah.
things going, what has worked best for you, what hasn't worked, right? And then that whole question about, why do you want to do this? What's your intention? So if their intention is to do this event to become famous, that's not a tangible goal. It's how
Right.
do you measure that, right? And I like to be very accessible, so I'll take like a retainer, but I'm going to make my money on a percentage of the results. So I'm all results oriented,
Yeah.
and business is all about sales and revenue.
Yes, it
Okay,
is.
while you're changing people's lives.
So
So
you'll
I
tell someone,
like,
you'll actually say to someone like, listen, I love to talk. I love the conversations we've had, but like, I can't take you as a client. You'll just let them go and say, we're
no,
not right for each other.
I'll tell them. I'll tell them exactly why. I think transparency is a pro and a con, but I'm like totally transparent. I'll say, look, we had 3 meetings scheduled. You rescheduled, you didn't show up for one, you rescheduled the other one, and then the last one we didn't get anything done because you wanted to talk about all this other stuff. And I usually take control, responsibility for that, but
Yeah.
I can see a kind of a pattern of behavior. And so then I just turn it around because I want to help them. I say, let's go back. What are you hoping I can do for you? What is our
Right.
goal together? Right.
Right.
So we have to be on the same goal. Yeah. And then
Um,
that's fine. But if, yeah,
I have
some,
people sometimes
I,
that want to do my apprentice training. And after I talk to them for a few minutes, I'm like, listen, I just don't think we're going to work well together. And people are so upset.
yeah.
Well, why would you not want to work with me? I was like, well, you bought 25 programs from everybody else. You never took the wrapping off anything. You've done nothing. You're a seminar junkie and you badmouth everyone. And yet you haven't cracked the first book. I don't want to be on the list of people that you're trashing. So I can't help you. And the people get so mad. They're so
Well,
offended.
here I would say the same thing, but I
Ah!
would I would frame it completely different.
Well,
I,
I
I,
frame it nice, but I'm just like and I wish it, and this what I do tell people this. I say, listen, if you look at all of this, you are the common denominator. And that's okay as long, it's like if you've been married 8 times and there's something wrong with every man you marry, you're probably the common denominator. So
yeah,
I'll tell people like search your soul, find out what it is about you. And when you want to talk about it or fix it or really make some changes, I'm here. But you have to, you know,
yeah.
figure
Well, the
out.
good, my advantage is I got started. I became a marketing expert studying the marketing greats back in the 90s, but
Oh yeah.
we were selling neuro linguistic programming
Oh yeah.
certification courses, training courses. We created the Secret of Creating Your Future weekend seminar, which is advanced goal setting.
Yep.
Uh, and so I got the benefit of all that personal growth and development and the ability to communicate, because marketing is all about, how to communicate with others. It's really math and psychology.
Yep.
Okay.
It is.
NLP is about how to communicate with others and yourself. So I have the advantage of if someone's not performing, if either they're, client or because I also have had a great coaching program helping real estate investors make millions, dollars,
Hey,
hitting their goals. But we could coach their behavior. Because I would have given them all the skills, the tools, the techniques, everything they needed. But if they're not using it, it's an inner game,
yeah,
the inner game of success. And I can identify that, I can pick up on it, I can extract it, and I can give suggestions on what they can do to change it if they want.
if they want. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. It's like I always tell people, how many of you have friends that have problems? And people's like, so how many of you can look at the problem and tell them exactly what's wrong and they can't see it? And I said, that's how everybody else feels about you. You can always like, you can have like a best friend that's having this awful relationship and you can look right at it and see what's wrong with it, but they don't see it. And so I think sometimes if we can help people really see what's happening and really
Yeah.
look at themselves and be like, oh, okay, so maybe I am a common denominator. If they can break through that mentally, I feel like they could be successful at anything.
Well, we've over, when we our coaching program for 10 years, 80% of the success is that accountability and that performance. And so we have identified just simple procedures to walk
Yeah.
people through to help them and get in touch. For example, you know, the way you described it is, hey, here's your current state and here's your future state that you want to be, right?
Yeah.
And there's a critical action plan that has to come together for changing, getting to that future state. So then we put together what we call a CAP, critical action plan,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's all elements of a business, right? Marketing, sales, administration, all that. And it's like, what are you good at now? What do you love? Dwan, I think people should do what they love. That's
They
what I'm
should.
doing now. I'm
Yeah, me
doing
too.
what I love.
I love it. Me too. I do too. And the funny thing is I've been doing this for 35 years almost. And I'm still like just barely cracking 40. But I really still to this day, I get really excited when a student says, hey, I closed my deal. Here's my check. Oh my God, you changed my life. Like honestly, there's a place inside of me that's just like, thank you, Lord,
Well,
for letting me be a part of
that
that. It's so exciting for me still.
that's to me, that's all it's about, is
Yeah.
changing people's lives and getting that positive feedback and hearing those stories.
Oh yeah.
Because if I hire a client and I know they're not going to be successful, I'm never going to be fulfilled, no matter how much they pay me.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one too. I love the fact you and I have always gotten along so good anyway, but we are really very much aligned that way because I mean, yeah, I make a lot of money doing real estate deals. I make a lot of money coaching people, but I don't want to coach people. I don't want to invest my time and say, here are the tools, here are the steps, and then they don't do anything.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I wasted their time, but I wasted my time. And my time is at the end of this, I need to see you being financially free or happy or whatever it is that you wanted from the beginning. If you don't reach that goal, I feel like I failed you. And then I feel bad about it. And I know it's not
Well,
my fault because people don't always do what you tell them to do. But the joy for me is the fact that they go, okay, Dwan, I'll do everything you tell me to do. And then they get this, and I'm like, woohoo, look at you now.
Well, if you came to me and you said that was like a something you want to change about your student success, or that you're disappointed when they're not successful, what I would do is I would restructure what you're selling and how you're selling it and how much time you spend with who, right? And give the people the opportunity to perform. It's up to them. You've done everything you can, maybe in a box, right? Or in a group setting, so that if they're not successful, it's not costing you anything, except, you might be disappointed, but that's your own inner game as far as you
No, it
taking
is.
response.
It
Yeah,
is.
you
It is.
take
It is. It's for me. That is my own energy because it's like I feel like, and this is probably going to sound braggadocious on myself, but I feel like, listen, I've closed like thousands of deals. I've helped thousands of people, and the people that do it and that really want it and do what I tell them to do, they have success. So when someone doesn't, then I think like, okay, did I fail them in some way, or did we just misread, or were we not really truly connected, or do they really not really actually want that? So I don't blame myself. I used to blame myself, so I stopped doing that a long time ago because it's like, you know what? If you do what I tell you to do, you can't help but make money. So I let myself go on the blame game a long time ago, but I still always feel a little disappointed if someone doesn't reach their goal because I'm
Well,
here to help them.
well, of course, me too. But there's four elements of that inner game of success, right? And that is your habits, your attitudes, your beliefs, and your expectations. So we call them the habes, right? So you can work on each of those, right?
Right, give
Now,
me those again. I'm writing this down. Habits, attitude.
beliefs and
Okay.
expectations. And what you just mentioned was expectations, right? So your expectation about this client, the student, was not fulfilled. You were expecting them to perform. Well, when you understand that typically 80% of the people are not going to perform no matter
Oh yeah.
what you do,
Oh yeah.
and it's like having a refund policy and getting upset when someone offers a refund. I I like to give very generous refund policies for a long period of time and totally reverse the risk. So it's very easy for them to get in.
Yeah.
So when I get a lot more people in, but then I have a higher number of maybe refunds, so to speak, but I make a lot more money because I'm dealing the percentage of refunds didn't go up, just the number because of
Hey,
the
hang on
volume.
a minute. Come and say hi. I'm talking to Richard Roop today.
Hey, bud.
Hey, how you
Doing,
doing, Bill?
bro?
Here's
Hey, good to see you.
Lost a
Yeah.
little hair and stuff, but I'm
You,
kicking day by day, man.
you look great, actually.
Thanks, man.
Doesn't he look great?
You
He's
do look great.
he's at day 300 and what?
3:30.
330 since the day of the transplant. I think he looks great. I like the hair. I like the gray.
No, he looks great.
He
I've
looks
lost
fabulous.
I've lost about 30 pounds. So
You look well. You look great. I mean,
thanks, man.
That's what I
you,
tell him all the time. I
you
say
look
he's killing
healthy.
it.
You
Wow.
look healthy. So,
Well,
Yeah, thanks.
he's got an excellent caretaker.
I do. That's right.
well, hopefully, I'll get to meet with you guys someday in person here. Soon, sometime.
Last time I saw you was probably 15, 18 years ago, I think in Atlanta, in a darn right in a down in the what do you call it? At a hotel, the big room downstairs, in the convention center. So yeah, I
Yeah,
remember sitting there talking to you. So
yeah,
We'll hook up soon.
good to see you, man.
Put that in my room.
yeah. Great. That's great. Great to
Doesn't
see
it
you,
look
Bill.
good?
Buddy.
Yeah,
He does. And everyone that listens knows Bill just went through a complete and total stem cell bone marrow transplant. We're almost at the 1 year mark, and the 1 year mark is where you're sort of considered you're safe, you're free to go out into the world again. So we're rolling up on that day, and we're getting pretty excited about it because it's been no joke, been a journey, like no joke. But I think he looks great.
he does.
He goes, I got too thin. I'm like, listen, you were too heavy. So you're not too thin. You look great.
No, he's not too thin. He looks very healthy. So
I think so too. And he eats good. He's got his skin back. But his and you probably do know this, but his donor was a 23-year-old female, and they had like a perfect DNA match. And I was like, all right, so she's young, she's 23, like you've got her DNA and all her stem cells now. So I'm like, yeah, let's see what that 23-year-old DNA does for you. But I'm telling you, he's got crazy amounts of energy and doing really good. And it's been really good. It's been really good.
that's
So,
awesome.
yeah, I know.
Awesome.
It's been, as you know, it's really been something. I tried to keep people posted and updated on what's been happening, but this was a case where I thought, okay, I'm going to caretake and we're going to come out and we're going to win because we're going to follow all the rules. We're going to do everything we were told to do. And at the end, you're going to be healthy. And that's exactly what we did. We set a goal.
Yeah,
We got
that
our
process,
actions in place and said, this is going to be the end result. And there's no other option.
and it was important to you.
And it was important to me. So I tell you what, I don't think I've ever followed rules in my life like I have this year with all those doctors.
You'll do, if your goal is important enough, you'll do anything, and it's not hard. It's like you're motivated. That's how
Yeah.
you get organic motivation.
Yeah.
I got a really good video I should share. Maybe I send you a link on. You can share it with folks. It's about getting in touch with the intention behind a goal, using kind of some of this NLP
Well,
stuff.
if you'll send me the link, if you'll email me the link, I'll send it to my team. We'll put it in the podcast in the show notes. So
Yeah.
I'm going to just back up a little bit. So like when Richard Roop was like 13, 14, What were you doing? Where were you living? Like, what was that guy doing?
All right. I was always looking for ways to make money since I was like 7 years old. Um,
Where
I,
did you grow
eh,
up?
I grew up in Southern California, Orange County,
Okay.
California. Okay. So when I was 13, 14, I was living in Anaheim Hills, California. And Dwan, we actually moved every 6 to 12 months
Really?
around Orange County.
Cow.
So I had two alcoholic parents,
Oh,
and I guess we were getting evicted, or they're trying to change by changing their location, all kinds of stuff. But it was kind of like I had to go to a new school just about every year.
oh,
So
that's hard.
that year I was at high school, like ninth grade or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was because I had to go to a new school each time. One of the ways to build rapport with people, to have something in common, because I wanted to get into sports, but I couldn't stay in sports because we were moving around a lot, right?
Right.
And so I wound up hanging out with the Lodies, the smoking area on at school, because if you go there and people are smoking and you smoke, then you have this commonality. That
Right.
was so that I started hanging out with the partiers or the Lodies or that type of thing. So I got a job as a busboy at the golf course near our townhouse. And so I was working to make money. I was collecting golf balls on the golf course and selling them back to the golfers.
Oh, that's a great idea. So you were just always, even when you were like 13, 14 years old, you were already looking for ways to make money.
I was. I don't know why it was so important to me when I was young, but I was always looking. I found it exciting and a
Yep.
challenge. All different types of ways to compete and make money. Um, and my uncle he made millions and millions of dollars in Silicon Valley. He was part of the Atari as a startup,
Wow.
and then he started his own business, and then he sold that for multi-millions and retired, like 40, 40, 50 years ago. And he joined the Air Force, learned electronics, and then went to Silicon Valley and became rich. And he was one of my favorite love uncles. I love, he was really fun.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so I wanted to be a millionaire. I wanted to make a lot of money. And so what I did is I joined the Air Force to learn electronics to get rich, right? And I joined the Air Force when I was 19. I went into electronics. I was an honor graduate in basic training because I'm very competitive. You tell me what to do, what's the goal, and I'll just follow you to tell me how to win, and I'll win, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like the only honor graduate out of 100 people in our flights, two flights. And then I went to tech school for 6 months, and I was an honor graduate for electronic tech school. And then I went to my duty station, and I wasn't using any of my electronics. All they would do is send me out to the plane. I was avionic navigation specialist. So I worked on the radar and the radios and the altimeters. But the F4s would land. They'd write up, hey, we have a problem with our altimeter. And we would just go out there, pull the box, put a new box in, and that was it. Anybody could do that, right?
Right.
And then the box would go to the shop and they would troubleshoot it. I was never in the shop to use my electronic training. I had to learn everything on the job, how to go out and pull boxes and stuff, right?
Fun.
Um, and I also was promised that I would be able to go to college, when the recruiter,
Right.
you'll go through college. That never happened. So while I was in the Air Force, my second duty station, while I was stationed in this was like when the Macintosh came out in like 1983,
Oh, yeah.
1984 is when it came out. I was stationed in Fairbanks, Alaska at Eielson Air Force Base. I was delivering pizza on base off when I'm not working to make money. And here's what I noticed, Juan. They were sending pizza, they were delivering pizzas, but there was no menu going out with the pizza, right? And that's, so you could reorder. So when I got that Macintosh, I created this god ugly flyer with about 57 different fonts. And
Ah,
because I wrote down the menu and I created this and I took it back to the manager and I said, hey, you want to use this? She said, yeah, you know what? You should go talk to the food services lady because she handles this. So I talked to her, I showed her what I did, And she says, you know what? We can use you to create flyers and signs and calendars for all of the people on base, all the like the auto hobby club and the bowling
Yeah.
alley. And so I got a government contract to do marketing when I was in the Air Force in 1984. And then I published the military discount coupon book where I went to Fairbanks merchants in Fairbanks, Alaska, where I said, look, I'm going to print up 5,000 coupon books, a military discount coupon book. If you want to show your support for the military, you can advertise your business, a coupon in this book, and it's $300. And I believed in it so much. I didn't need any sales skills. I just went in there and sold it, right?
Ah,
That's when I learned about rejection a little bit because, sometimes they'd say, no, it's like, I didn't know how to handle it. Why not? So then I started studying books and tapes on sales and personal growth and that type of thing. And that's when I became an entrepreneur, and I've been an entrepreneur ever since.
Isn't that funny? You started that in the military on base with a pizza menu. And look at you now. So you were meant to be there. You found your path.
Well, Dwan, some of the marketing tools that I like creating really cool stuff that people talk about, people keep, not only do they respond to, but they say, look what I got, and they keep it forever. So I create marketing tools that last a long time and can be used a long time. So some of the marketing strategies and marketing tools I created for real estate investors 20 years ago are still work unchanged today.
Yeah.
My little post-it note on people's doors, my magic bullet postcard. You don't have to create stuff all the time. You get something that works good and just use it forever.
Consistency. Find it and use it consistent. That's the thing. That is such a fun story. That's one. I've interviewed a lot of people. That's like a really fun story how you went from that to that. That is really a neat thing to do. So how old are you right now, Richard?
I am 59.
59. You're a pup. I'm 63. My birthday is next week. It's like, oh my God, how am I going to be 64 years old? Like, how is that possible? I don't even know what happened.
It does, we don't feel it because we enjoy what we do. If you're passionate about what you do, that's not even it's not even an issue. It's like, and it's not like you're going to retire because again, you want to be in a business. Like I really like real estate investing because you are helping the buyers, you're helping the sellers, you're helping the tenants, and you're helping the investors, right?
Yeah,
that's what your business should be focused on. How do I help these people the most, and how do I help the most people? That's how you get rich. That's how you get wealthy. That's how you make millions of dollars, is creating massive value for the marketplace. And that consistency and that targeting, and try not to do too many things. Get really good at one thing, get really good, then launch another location or expand on that or add another related type of company, but don't go off on too many directions.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Get really good.
I love all of it. So let's I'm going to ask you a couple random questions. What's your favorite band of all time?
Oh, Pink Floyd.
Oh, Pink Floyd. God, I love Pink Floyd. I
think that brings me back to that when I was 14 and we're in Anaheim Hills.
Oh,
Dark Side of the Moon.
I have smoked many a joint listening to Pink Floyd. I was like a teenager in the 70s.
I got a good story about that when they legalized marijuana in Colorado. Because I bought over 500 houses in Colorado. I lived there from 95 till 2018 or something like that.
Yeah.
And when they legalized marijuana, because I smoked when I was younger, right, before the Air Force, and then a couple times while I was in the Air Force, and I felt really guilty about that. But not a whole lot between after that, right? When they legalized it, I was up in the mountains from Colorado Springs.
Yeah.
And they didn't have any place you can get it in Colorado Springs, so you had to go to Pueblo or Denver. So I went to Denver and I bought 2 different types, right? Kind of like a little container, right?
Yeah.
That was when they legalized it. What was that, like 6 or 7 years ago or something like that?
Yeah, it would have been like I don't know, 7, 8 years ago, something like that.
that stuff was so strong.
So
It,
strong.
it's like the only time when my stepmom came to visit, she goes, "Hey, can we get some pot?" My stepmom. So, I mean, I didn't really have a lot. My friends are virtual. I travel and I do business conferences and stuff,
Yeah.
and so I don't have a lot of friends to like use it with. And so I did it with my stepmom when she visited. But guess what? I still have half of it
Oh, me too.
after 7 years. I just it's just not that interesting. I mean,
You know what's funny? My son, he turned 21, so he's 31. So it was a decade ago. And I always said, hey, when you turn 21, we're gonna go out, we're gonna drink some tequila shots, like, because he was like, I let my kids like party at the house a little bit. So anyway, his birthday rolls around. He goes, well, I don't want to go have tequila. I want you to smoke weed with me. I'm like, no, no, no. I haven't smoked any weed since the 80s. I don't want to smoke. And he's like, it's my 21st birthday, and this is legal, and I don't want to drink tequila, so you're gonna do this with me. And I was like, all right. One, like, so I don't know how strong. I said, what, like one joint? He goes, no, you only need one hit. And I'm like, dude, you cannot get high off of a hit. So he has this little pipe. I take this hit. He goes, that's all you need. And I'm like, bullshit. So I take a second whopping hit. I was stoned till like the next day at 6 a.m. And I
yeah,
thought, what the hell is this? And I don't want anything to do with it because it's so strong. And I was like, okay. So if I even thought about it, I was like, no, I was so traumatized from that night. I was like, no, that's it. So I've got a little thing here.
yeah,
I've had some gummies and stuff. I think since they were legal, it's like it's too strong. It's like no, there's no fun in being like stupid, like so high. I don't even know what the hell I'm doing.
yeah. That I have no interest in that. And yeah,
Now me.
that was my experience too.
So everyone that comes to visit me, I say, oh, let's go get some weed. And I'm like, listen, you're on your own because I'm not smoking it with you because I'm gonna tell you like a half a puff and you'll be out of your mind.
But now when I travel, sometimes I'm pulled aside by someone at a conference and they invite me to go out and have a hit. I'll do that if I'm not going to speak or something, right? Um, so I just have the freedom to say yes or no, which is
Oh,
you know.
I won't even have a hit. I'm like, I can't because it lasts too long. Like I don't remember ever in the 70s in high school, like a whole group of people could smoke a joint together and nobody would be out of their minds. If you smoked a whole joint now, you'd be dead.
When I was growing up, I was always paranoid. Whenever I had smoked with my friends, I would
Me
always
too.
be paranoid.
Me too. That's why,
Yeah.
you know what? It's just the THC is just not the thing for me. It makes me weird, makes me paranoid, and it makes me insanely hungry, and it lasts way too long. So I'm just
Well,
like,
we were talking about having important goals that motivate you organically, and I kind of fluffed off in school. I was very smart. I could do good and everything, but it wasn't. I didn't know what, there was no goal involved. I wasn't in. I'd rather go do something else. So, but when I realized I didn't have any money to go to college, and
yeah,
so I said I need a scholarship. So my senior year, my goal was to get a scholarship. And so I actually went to class and did the work. And but because we moved, I didn't wind up getting a scholarship and stuff. And it's kind of good because I don't think you learn how to um, be an independent, I think, entrepreneur through going to college. College teaches you how to go work for someone else. And so I never pushed my sons to go to
I
college and
didn't make
stuff.
it in my kids. I'm like, listen, don't go to college. Just become a real estate investor. You'll be fine.
I
I said, don't waste it. If you want to go for something, like go, but
yeah,
to get a job, if you want a job, you can work for me.
yeah. I wanted to find out, what do they want to do with their lives? What do they want to get good at? How,
Mhm.
the same things I do with my clients. It's very hard to do with your kids.
It is. It is. It is. So let me ask you a couple more questions. So Pink Floyd's your favorite band. What's your favorite food?
Oh, my favorite food, steak and lobster, surf and turf.
Mm. Yeah, surf and turf. I love surf and turf too. I think Bill's one of the only people I know that doesn't really like seafood that much. It's like, how can you not like seafood? I love sushi and seafood and all of it. And he's just like, So he'll have like shrimp once in a while. It's like, dude, you have got to expand your horizons on that. Now, what's your favorite part of the day? Like out of the whole day, from the morning to the night,
The
when's your
morning,
favorite time of day?
morning.
Morning?
I get up at 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Really?
Yep.
What time do you go to bed? At noon?
8, 9, 10 o'clock.
Dang, that's late. I mean, that's early. You get up 2 o'clock. I think the only time I've ever seen 2 o'clock is if I was coming home from somewhere.
Well, I get passionate about my projects. So like right now, I'm promoting a 3-day challenge for real estate investors who want to actually get into commercial. Like they don't know how to get in commercial, but they would love to have that big passive income and that wealth building from commercial, especially today with the way the market's changing. So one of my clients is putting on that training. He's doing it for free because he wants to build his inner circle of people that he can do deals with, right? Because he
Nice.
makes his money on deal flow, right?
Yeah.
So he's giving everything away for free. And since we have a deadline and I'm all excited about it, I'll work crazy hours at different times, because I enjoy working on, getting
I do
people
that
to the
too, though.
event.
I get, especially if I'm like writing something or writing a book or working, I'll work on something until like 3 or 4 in the morning. And then I'll go to sleep for a while and get up and people are like, yeah. And I'm like, hey, listen, I work for myself. If I want to stay and work on something until the wee hours, especially if you're like, how in a role, like you can't break your role because then tomorrow you might lose the role you got right now. So I have spent many a nights up writing and working or updating a program or working with someone. And next thing you know, it's like I see the sun's coming up. It's like, oh shoot, I need to go lay down.
Yeah, so I like getting up because it's quiet. I can do whatever I want. I don't have any appointments at that time. So
Yeah.
I can either catch up on my social media or I can get organized or I can start working. I can just
Yep.
pretty much do anything I want.
I like
And
it. I like it. All right. So one more time, how do people reach you?
Richard Roop, as in poop, richardroop.com. And yeah, and
That's
if you go,
hilarious. Oh my God, Richard Roop as in poop. Oh my God. I say
no,
Dwan like
go to
swan.
my go to my Facebook profile. By the way, I just put a bio link in there that actually has a link to all my stuff, so that's actually
Okay,
good. Go to
good.
my Facebook profile, click on the bio link, but you'll see it has how to pronounce Roop, and it says as in poop.
Oh, that's funny. I tell because a lot of people don't, they're like Dwan. I'm like, Dwan is like swan, like swan Dwan. So I use that, but not poop. That's hilarious. I gotta tell you, by the way. So I took some notes today. So what I like to do is we call this session is getting inside the minds of today's millionaires. And you are the wicked smart man of the week, Mr. Richard. So I kind of like to do a little bit of a summary and see if we were able to get inside your mind just a little bit. So Richard Roop, 59, richardroop.com, Roop like poop. I love that. I think that's probably the funniest thing I've ever heard anyone say on the podcast. Marketing consultant, you speak at events, entrepreneur, you do leverage and legacy. So when we talked about like an example, like of me doing it would be an event, work on the coaching, find out what the marketing, the ideal client, getting out the right message, the avatar, getting the word out, marketing media. So you help people all the way through the path and find out what it is the end
I
goal. And then you kind of
I
look
help people
backwards, like how do
achieve.
we reach that end goal, which I
Yeah, I
love.
help people achieve their goals. That's my focus. That's
Yep,
that's what I do. I help you help you achieve your goal or help you create that goal so that in a good way so that we have something to work towards. So
I
that's
love it.
yeah.
You grew up in Southern California. Sadly, parents were alcoholics. So sometimes, as sad as that is when you're growing up, sometimes it makes you a very resilient adult for sure. And when you were 13, you were hanging out with the smokers, being a busboy, cleaning up golf balls, selling them back to the golfers, which is great. I went to the Air Force at 19, got in some tech. And when you were in Alaska, you were delivering pizza, which is so funny. And you made a menu, and then you ended up creating things for people on the base and got a government contract. Like, how great is that? And you're like Pink Floyd, Surf and Turf, and you like the morning. So is that a little bit about what's inside the mind of Richard Roop?
Sure, that sounds really good.
That's fun. You're a lot of fun. I try to just like have fun conversations and talk to people because a lot of podcasts, people go, send me your questions. It's like, no. I don't want anybody's questions. I don't want anybody asking me. I just want to just talk to me and let's just have a fun time and, and get to know better. So again, folks, richardroop.com, and I've known this guy forever. He is just such a really great guy, and anything that you need help with and you've got some big plans, I'm telling you, this is the guy to help you out. He can help you with everything. I want you to hit me up at Dwanderful, DWANDERFUL, Dwanderful.com. I'm on Instagram, Dwanderful, Facebook, Dwanderful, TikTok, it's Dwantastic. I've got some free ebooks from you. And I always ask you all to do me a favor. If you enjoyed the podcast today, if you laughed, if you learned something, you had a good time, subscribe to my podcast, leave a 5-star review. And on the days where I'm just teaching you myself, which is Tuesdays, I read off a few 5-star reviews. So if you ever want to have your review read, you have to leave one. Okay, so Richard, the last thing is the parting word of wisdom, but actually just one word.
Focus.
I love it. And what does focus mean to you?
That you're clear and focused on what's what's important to you at that moment. So I mentioned the other day, if you just do 3 things that are important to you every day and knock them out, you'll feel so good. You'll have a wonderful day. You can relax, and you'll get really fulfilled by knocking out 3 important things that you decided you wanted to get done and get them done. It's as simple as that. So focus on what you want. Focus on what you want.
And I also, like you said, habits, attitude, beliefs, and expectations. So that also helps people get the AIDS.
Yeah.
I love it.
Those are your barriers to your
AIDS.
potential. Those are the barriers to your potential. Your habits, your attitudes, your beliefs, and expectations, and you can change all of those with intent.
Yeah, I like that. Haste. I've never heard that before. So now when I'm going to use that, I can have a special inside word now. So I like focus. So again, I want to thank you for being on the show. It's just so good to see you and so good to catch up. And I'm really excited that you got a chance to say hi to Bill. And where are you living right now?
I'm in Texas.
Yeah. Where are you at in Texas?
I'm in the northern part, small town, 143 people.
How far is that from Houston?
I'm 90 minutes from a Best Buy in 3 different directions. So,
oh my gosh.
No, I'm 4 miles north of Dallas.
Okay,
or
nice.
4 hours north of
I'm
Dallas.
speaking a couple times in Texas this year. So when I come out there, we'll meet somewhere and we'll hook up and we'll have dinner and we'll catch up on some stuff. I haven't
Sounds
seen
great.
the handsome face of yours for a while. I miss your face.
Yeah, I'm going to be at several events in Texas this year too. So yeah, we'll hook up. Absolutely.
All right. So Richard, thank you again. Everyone, thank you for listening. And we'll be back next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. And remember that the truth is in the red letters. Okay, everybody. Ciao.